Hey guys, today we're taking a look at how to create a Fallout 76 inspired vintage video effect. You can download the Pip-Boy plate we're using in the description below. Because the goal of this tutorial is to distort the footage, we're giving 50% off to the first 20 people to purchase the VFX damage pack. You can find the link for that in the description as well. Let's go ahead and get started.
We'll begin in a new composite shot with our footage. The first thing we need to do is convert this to a 4:3 aspect ratio. Come up and select the rectangular mask tool. Position your mouse in the center of the screen, hold down the Alt key, and click and drag outwards. The reason I use a mask instead of the letterbox effect is so that I can adjust the roundness and feathering. In the Controls panel, drop down the mask properties and adjust those two settings. Set these based on whatever looks good to you. I'll also bring the expansion down until the top and bottom edges become feathered. Once you have that set, go into the composite shot properties and lower the width. This will make it easier to place this video into the device later. To begin distorting the footage, create a new grade and drop on the TV damage effect. Search for Enabled in the bar up top, and uncheck everything except electrical interference. Under Placement, increase the area width to cover the whole screen. I'll customize the lines further by increasing the quantity, so that there's more, and raising the amount of gaps. When you're happy with how these look, copy the mask from the original video onto the grade. A bilateral blur effect will smooth fine detail but retain the edges in your video. I'll add this to the grade and make it more subtle. Now drop on a heat distortion effect. This is good for adding random spots of blurriness. Turn the distortion and diffusion bias to 0. Adjust the diffusion strength to your liking. If you want less of the video to be affected by the blur, raise the diffusion bias. Next up is a little bit of bleach bypass. This will crush the shadows and make the detail less visible. I'll reduce the overall color with the hue, saturation, and lightness effect. Lower the saturation in the master dropdown. I'll quickly use a curves effect just to reduce the darkness of the shadows. There isn't any spot that should be pure black. Now we're going to add another curves effect, and this is where you can start messing around with color. If you look at old vintage video, there are a wide range of colors going on. You can get a lot of interesting combinations by messing around with the curve for each color. Now add a film damage effect. Drop this down, and you'll find several types of distortion that you can customize. These settings will be dependent on the look you're going for, so I'll just show you what they do. Grain is basically noise. You can set it to be colored or black and white. Stains creates these round coffee stain textures. These flicker in and out on screen. Dust is similar to stains, but the textures are more solid black and have softer edges. Scratches creates vertical lines on screen. Shake makes the video look as if it's skipping vertically. Vignette creates a dark shadow around the edge of the frame. Flicker makes the brightness of the video move up and down randomly. And defocus blurs the video at multiple points. Now I'll drop on a scan lines effect. To make this more subtle, I'll increase the frequency and sharpness. Last thing we're going to put on is some static. Create a new plane and add the fractal noise effect. Activate keyframes for the seed property, and skip to the end of the timeline. Change the seed to make the noise move. Now drop down the transform properties and lower the scale to 1. In the axis scale settings, increase the X to 800%. Right-click the plane and set the blend to color dodge. Lower the opacity if you need to make it less noticeable. And that's how you can use multiple effects to aid your video. You could stop here, but now I'll show you how to place it into the Pip-Boy device from the beginning. Here I have my plate in a new composite shot. I'll drag down my vintage comp from earlier and add the quad warp effect. This will place 4 points on each of the corners of the video that can be manipulated freely. This effect is great for placing images into paintings, onto walls, or replacing TV or phone screens. I'll place the vintage comp into the Pip-Boy using the controls. Once that's done, right-click the layer itself and set the blend to screen. To help the edges blend better, I'm going to add a vignette effect. Depending on how the quad warp affects your footage, you might have to recenter the vignette onto the video. Next, I'll add a slight reflection onto the screen by duplicating my original plate. Right-click the layer and set the blend to screen. Scale it down in the controls panel and position it so that a lighter area is in the right spot. Select the rectangular mask tool and draw a shape to isolate the reflection to the Pip-Boy screen. If it's too sharp, add a blur effect. In this case, it's not needed, so I'll just lower the opacity of the layer itself. With my footage in place, I added a few more effects to bring the shot together. This included a lens flare on the Pip-Boy where the power light would be, some light rays on the left side of the screen, and a final grade using a variety of color correction effects. In case you missed it, be sure to download the free 10.0 update for HitFilm Pro and Express, which includes some text enhancements so that you can really get in and customize it the way you want. For more vintage video tutorials, check out the community-made cards on screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.